Hello and welcome to Breakfast All Day. How are you? I am Christy. That is Matt. That is Alonso. We've got a bunch of movies for you this week. We're moving on to the half of it, which is on Netflix, and it's quite lovely. Alonso, please tell us about it.
So this is the first film since 2004 for writer-director Alice Wu. She made a really impressive debut called Saving Face, and then apparently kind of dropped out of the industry for a while, was taking care of her mom while she was sick, and then decided to get back into it. And I'm so glad that she has. This is a really charming high school comedy, kind of a Cyrano de Bergerac story. A girl named Chou is writing the term papers for pretty much her entire class, and a football player approaches her wanting help in writing a love letter to the sort of unreachable Astor Flores, and Ellie has her own feelings for Astor Flores, but she starts helping him out, and things go in very unexpected directions, but it is a story about love and friendship and secrets, and they talk about the repressed longing of the remains of the day a lot in this movie, and there's plenty of that too.
What's interesting is that this is kind of a little bit inspired by a friendship that Alice Wu herself had. Ooh, who could it be at the door?
I don't know.
It's not my door.
Drop it and leave.
Right?
Yeah.
It's my door.
I thought it was yours. I don't have a doorbell.
I don't have a doorbell either. That's really strange. Anyway, so Alice Wu had a friendship when she was, young and queer. She had a friendship with a straight guy, and that was sort of part of the inspiration for this. Was that guy's girlfriend became jealous of the intimacy that they enjoyed with each other. So that was sort of the leaping off point for her.
I have to also imagine that the assholes in this movie that keep going chugga chugga choo choo, like,
yes,
had to have been doing that to a young Alice Wu.
They were. That's part of it too. They were saying chugga chugga woo woo to her. Yes.
Yeah, you have a protagonist named Ellie Chou from a filmmaker named Alice Wu. There's going to be some autobiographical components.
Yeah, for sure. But Leah Lewis, who is the actress who is Alice Wu's kind of stand-in here, is so lovely and has this really fantastic disarming quality about her, because she's simultaneously so innocent and yet the smartest person in the room at all times. She has kind of a lovely, deep, rich voice, which gives her a groundedness and a maturity in this small town. It's a fictional small town, Squamish in Washington.
Squamish.
Yeah, it's not a real place. But she is the only Asian kid, right? So it's about understanding her identity, and all three characters here, her and Daniel Diemer plays the kind of sweetly oafish football player, and then the beautiful girl they're both in love with, her name is Alexxis Lemire.
Yes. Oh yeah, any relation?
No, I mean, I don't think so, but she's from a part of New Hampshire, which is very near where Chris grew up. And so, but there's a lot of French Canadian names there. Lemire, Levesque, Lavallee. It's very, people came down from Montreal. I don't think I'm related to her. Maybe I am. But, each of these people is trying to establish her own sense of identity while also feeling the tug of their familial and cultural and historical roots. So, Ellie, speaks Mandarin at home with her father, played by Collin Chou, who's really lovely in this.
Right. Yeah. Collin Chou, who is this legendary martial arts actor who has done, that's most of what he's done in his career. And he just plays this kind of like reserved, quiet, he
spends 98% of the movie in a bathrobe.
Yeah.
In a recliner. Yeah. And their relationship is really lovely. And there's like a tug culturally for her with him, and how his English isn't great, and he watches classic American films like Casablanca to practice his English. So she feels that, but also wants to go off on her own and study, in a different city for college. And she's so smart, she clearly can do that. The kid who is the football player, there's more to him than we initially think. He's not the smartest, but he's like sweet as can be, and he's deeply loyal, and he's got a heart of gold, and he really means well. And he wants to do his own thing while also, being stuck with the family business. And then Astor Flores, has these expectations from her father, who is a preacher, but she may want to go do her own thing and not just go get married immediately. And so they're all despite their differences, trying to navigate their own way. And what I love about this is that it's got these very familiar YA pieces. Like, it's not based on a YA novel, it's an original script, but it's got, like, you know, the disparate rungs on the social hierarchy, but the kids still have a secret friendship. And this small town seems really quaint and idyllic from the outside, but it feels like a prison to these restless kids who want to get out of it. And there's a lot of narration. There's a lot of really like hyper-verbal, really smart narration, which you get in these kinds of films, but they all add up to a really specific and really moving, charming whole.
We talked about this on Who Shot You this week, and Drea pointed out that this is kind of similar to the love triangle in Some Kind of Wonderful, especially in that the sort of unattainable girl is pretty and popular and understands that her prettiness is her currency, basically, that, you know, the other girls are rich and they will be bitchy about her poverty behind her back, but as long as she's pretty and as long as she's connected to the right boyfriend, she gets to run in that pack. And so she understands both the realities and the precariousness of that situation. And then Dre also noted that like so many of the current teen movies, especially the Netflix teen movies, are so referential to John Hughes, whereas here's a movie where the reference points are like, you know, Remains of the Day and Wings of Desire and Casablanca, which is, you know, kind of a nice change.
This movie is a goddamn delight. It's almost perfect. It's almost perfect. And the one flaw that I'm going to knock this movie on is that as literary as this movie is, and as much as we see Ellie and what the other woman's name?
Paul.
Aster.
Aster. Would it have killed them to drop any Cyrano reference at all?
Is that too on the nose?
I think they intentionally.
Does Cyrano not exist in this literary universe?
It's implicit.
Right.
I'm okay with that.
But aside from that, the chemistry between, especially the guy playing the football player and Allie, is so good, and he's not just dumb, right? Like, right? I mean, he could be just a dumb guy, right? But like when he figures out Sartre, like, that's such a great scene that he gets her to turn around and come back by explaining he understands hell as other people. Like that's the moment, right? There's so much good. This is such a smart script.
He's an artist. It's just that his medium is sausage.
There's more to him than we think. Right, he cares.
Right. And his art. He's got his own trap. And I absolutely love this movie. It's so smart. The script is so good, and it's so smart about its references. And then the cast sells it so well. And it makes great use of the title cards in between scenes and the way that the texts are done. You know, we're seeing a lot of that in movies lately. And this one, I think,
the animation at the beginning.
Right. This is just a wonderful, wonderful, you know, aside from my issue with the reference, it's kind of perfect. And I will absolutely be in line to watch more movies from Alice Wu. Please, like, make more movies.
Keep making movies.
This is perfect.
Go back and rent Saving Face. It's really delightful. But yeah, I said on Twitter, I feel cheated out of the like 7 to 12 Alice Wu movies that we've gotten in the ensuing years.
And there's a really great kind of infectious energy to the back and forth in these text messages and these letters. And then also Ellie and Paul, when they're playing ping pong and like practicing having a conversation, there's like a fun energy to that training montage, as it were, too. So yeah, it maybe drags a tiny bit in the middle. But maybe that's just the languid setting, because it's a pretty vivid sense of place, and this is a quiet, sleepy little town. That's my only quibble with it. I think it gets, as the tension should be ratcheting up as far as will all of their identities and motives get exposed. It feels a little sedate, but other than that, I really, really liked it. I'm saying 8.7.
I said 9.5.
Yeah, I don't know why you hate this so much, Christy. I give it 9.5.
I'm tough. I care, and I'm tough. So 9.2 is our number. It is on Netflix now, and it's a delight. So please go watch it.
Absolutely. Thanks for watching us. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us at BeFastAllDay on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/BeFastAllDay. We're talking about Mrs. America and Westworld. Ben Mankiewicz popped in to discuss the final season of Homeland with me. And I know, and our listeners, our viewers, all of you, our subscribers, picked a classic for us to watch, and it's 1973's The Wicker Man, and May Day is the perfect time to talk about it. So stick around for that. Give us a visit if you haven't already. If you are subscribing, thank you. We super appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.